Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Carissa Williamson. A ceremony was held at Government House on May 1st, 2025 to commemorate the assents of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Act and the Department of Foreign Services Acts by Governor General Her Excellency the Most Honorable Cynthia A. Pratt. The legislation marked a move toward modernizing the country's foreign services framework.
The people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas made a decision in September 1972 that the country should become an independent country, taking the last jurisdictional step which would cause us to have control of our affairs in a legal and constitutional sense. And after 10th January 1967, it was up to us to construct the country that we now live in. This act today is another step in that construction. Those of you who may have heard me speak before to the point, the late George Stewart and Pericles Melis, who is still with us, were some of the first employees of what was then called the Ministry of External Affairs. And Pericles Melis, speaking at the funeral of George Stewart, talked about what a pioneering spirit and time that was, because they had to start from scratch to build all of the rules, the regulations, and to, in fact, create an institution known as the Ministry of External Affairs. Later, it became the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and since that time, there have been several amendments to flesh out what we do for relations between the international community and ourselves. The Act says that all official communications between the Bahamas government and foreign states come through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We went through an extensive set of salutations, and I chuckle each time we do that at our public ceremonies because the late Patricia Glinton McCoulis has written, in fact, a book about our ceremonies and the long salutations that we give. And I do want to, though, recognize in particular the diplomatic corps that's here and all the members of the staff, the colleagues who work with me at the ambassadorial level, including Ambassador Pinder, who is here, Ambassador Leslie of Miller. But on this occasion, in particular, my colleagues from the cabinet. And I counted them, and I smiled because I remember in 2006, I had been charged as Minister of Foreign Affairs to run the campaign to get the Bahamas and the Bahamian people to sign on to the CSME. And the government, after the response was so negative in the country to it, decided to withdraw from the public discussions. And it was my job that morning in the House of Assembly to make the announcement. And I stood by myself on the front bench. I think the now Governor General was the only member of the cabinet sitting on the front bench with me that day. It was a very lonely feeling. And so I'm really gratified to you colleagues today that you are here. Thank you for coming. I also want to express the apologies on behalf of the the Honorable Prime Minister, who is unfortunately with a conflicting engagement in Eleuthera, but lends his full support to this event. I want to thank those who were responsible for drafting the bills and who are still working on the drafting of the regulations. And so Mr. Thompson has already recognized Dame Anita Allen, Ms. Rhonda Bain. I think Ms. Roll is also another one of the draftspeople. I don't know whether she's here this morning, but I really want to thank them because this has been an extensive work and exercise. And to recognize the Director General, who is Jerusha Ali, who will, once the acts come into force, which we expect within a month or so, will become the head of the Department of the Foreign Service, and the permanent secretary will remain administrative head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I say this because, with regard to Ms. Ali, because there's always this public criticism about we do not let people of the next generation come into their own. And by any measure, this is a young woman, a young person, a young Bahamian. And as the first Director General of the department, it will be her job to flesh out what the Department of the Foreign Service will be and what it is to become. It's an awesome job because it covers not only human resources, which is quite complex in this era, but also the rules and regulations, salary and benefits, the policies, and of course, trying to steer your way through a world in which small countries are more and more being cast aside as unimportant in the scheme of things. But we're not unimportant.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness officially welcomed 40 nurses and 10 doctors from Ghana on April 28, 2025, during the opening of a 3-day orientation session held at Super Clubs Breezes. The medical professionals will join healthcare teams across the country to strengthen national services. Our Matt Mora has more.
The orientation was held over a 3-day period, during which time the new hires were immersed in the ministry's efforts to transform the country's public primary healthcare system and infrastructure into a fully functioning, modern, digitized service. Dr. Darville said the new hires will play a key role in those efforts by helping to fill some of the human resource gaps that have occurred as a direct result of the developed countries moving aggressively to recruit healthcare workers in the Bahamas and the other English-speaking Caribbean countries. The Health and Wellness Minister spoke to some of the areas the orientation covered.
You will learn a lot about what we are doing, how we are transforming healthcare infrastructural development. You will learn about how we have gone through aggressive crusade to upgrade primary healthcare facilities across all of our family islands. You'll learn about our new digital platforms. You'll learn about what we plan to do with telemedicine. You learn about our new EMT system on the ground, and the list goes on and on. We look forward for you making your contributions to healthcare delivery systems across the country, and we look forward for you to being incorporated in this very unique family of healthcare providers who are privileged to serve the Bahamian people. And I can't wait for you to be deployed in your respective places and to start providing these essential services and fill the gap that has occurred as a direct result of countries, developed countries, moving aggressively in the English-speaking Caribbean to recruit our healthcare workers.
Dr. Darville said Ghana has developed a pool of highly trained healthcare professionals that are being heavily sought after by Caribbean and other global countries to enhance their healthcare services. He said this became clear during the recruitment exercise.
Barbados were pushing hard too. Many other Caribbean islands, some even in the UK. And so Ghana has definitely developed a pool of healthcare professionals who can come outside of Ghana without destabilizing your healthcare services.
The Health and Wellness Minister said the opportunity to deliver quality healthcare services to patients across the Bahamas at their most vulnerable times should be viewed as a privilege.
And so I challenge you today, despite all of the challenges you may face as a healthcare professionals, the stresses of the job, the stresses in your own personal life, remember, you are privileged. You are privileged to serve a patient. So I'm challenging everyone, because we're all human. We're challenging you that when you have the opportunity to be in front of a patient, give them your best. Show up to work on time. Provide quality services for our people. Educate them. Teach them about health and well-being. Teach them about things that are damaging their health, and teach them about nutrition and physical activity. Take a holistic approach in providing health care for our people.
The 40 nurses will join their 18 other compatriots who formed the first cohort of nurses recruited from Ghana in 2023. Dr. Darville praised the work those initial hires have been doing in the public primary healthcare system. He said he expects no less from the new cohort of nurses and 10 doctors as the country continues its push towards access to comprehensive, preventative, and quality healthcare services and care for all Bahamians. For Your Government in Action, I'm Matt Mora.
And now we take a look up north with Andrew Coakley of our Northern Service.
Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Davis, along with Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, and Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Darville, were in Freeport for a heads of agreement signing between the government of the Bahamas and board members of the Western Atlantic University School of Medicine for the further development and expansion of that institution. Prime Minister Philip Davis said that the recent heads of agreement signing, which took place on Monday, will allow his government to forge ahead with its bold and ambitious agenda to galvanize Grand Bahama and revolutionize the nation's healthcare landscape. The latest agreement, he added, catapults both the nation and WASM into a new phase.
Following the successful completion of phases 1 and 2 of the university's development, I think we now move to advance to phases 3 and 4. I am pleased to note that the campus will see a near two-fold expansion in its facilities, supporting the accommodation of 1,000 medical students by January 2028. Across all phases, the continued development of WASM has generated hundreds of jobs for Bahamians, and it will continue to create enduring careers as its operations expand. In Phase 4, which is set to begin in late 2028, the campus will continue its physical expansion, with enrollment projected to more than double over the following decade to a total of 2,300 students by 2040. I hope you're all around by then to witness it. As we look to scale up the footprint of the university, so too are we committed to guaranteeing that every motivated, medically minded Bahamian has access to a transformative education. To this end, I am pleased to announce that the Western Atlantic University School of Medicine is partnering with the Ministry of Education to offer need-based scholarships to qualifying applicants. We recognize that the cost of higher education can be an insurmountable barrier for families with limited incomes. And so we are delighted to make these scholarships available to aspiring health professionals.
As the university continues to build up its operations, as well as its reputation as a regional leader in higher education, Prime Minister Davis said the school is also committed to securing and maintaining full accreditation status through such reputable channels as the Caribbean Accreditation Authority for Education in Medicine and other health professions, adding that his government has always invested in the health of Bahamians.
World-class accreditation will enable successful graduates to develop reputable medical practices while opening up opportunities, international knowledge sharing, and cross-cultural partnerships. Even more importantly, educating hundreds of new health professionals each year means the Bahamas will benefit from a more robust and better skilled medical workforce in country. Our healthcare system is already experiencing significant upgrades thanks to our ambitious and proactive health policies. We have opened three newly renovated clinics in New Providence this month alone. This is in addition to the dozens of clinic upgrades already completed throughout our archipelago, as well as our recent expansions to the public emergency vehicle fleet, and of course, our sustained push to complete the first phase of the Freeport Health Campus, your neighbors. Our government has consistently invested in the health of Bahamians, and that is because we want Bahamians to lead healthy and flourishing lives. That means opening new clinics. It means building new hospitals and securing more ambulances. It also means training the next generation of Bahamian healthcare workers. And to that, we want to thank WASM to be able to partner with us in that regard. That is what we are doing today, my friends. We are building a healthier Bahamas.
Also speaking at the Heads of Agreement signing event was Minister for Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, who said that the journey for the medical school has been a long one. However, he said he was excited to be at the point where once the HOA was signed, WASM would be able to plot the cost necessary for the further advancement for medical education in the Bahamas.
I know and I've seen the great work you have done in medical education here. I'm so pleased to say publicly the commitment that you have for providing medical education for Bahamians who will eventually take their place in our healthcare system, but also your ability to provide quality medical education for many young aspiring doctors around the world. I was pleased to make the announcement when the Ministry of Health joined WASM to clearly articulate and demonstrate to the world that graduates from WASM will be able to practice medicine in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Minister Darville said there is a fast move to a memorandum of understanding where clinicians at WASM will be able to utilize their medical training in the country's local facilities.
And an MOU that would allow students of WASM to interface with our healthcare system here in Grand Bahama. We are moving swiftly to resolve these issues, and this Heads of Agreement, I believe, will definitely lay the foundation and the future advancement of this fine medical institution. Our vision for these 100 acres of property in this area was to develop a medical school, medical training, a hospital, as well as institutes and biomedical companies who will be able to interface in this medical campus and to be able to provide quality healthcare services locally and abroad. I believe WASM is a part of the government's vision, and we welcome you with great anticipation and enthusiasm as you move swiftly to plot the way for further development here at this wonderful site. I want to thank you on behalf of the Bahamian people, all of us at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Grand Bahama Health Services, who will be partnering with WASM to allow your students to get the clinical experience while in country, and for your faculty to make a positive contribution to our communities.
As the Western Atlantic University School of Medicine prepares to increase the size of its campus here in Grand Bahama, it will also mean an increase of enrollment of international students. This, of course, will have a positive effect on Grand Bahama as these students integrate into society and pour money into the local economy. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, congratulated and pinned 70 students excelling in STEM at a special ceremony on April 24th. These students earned top marks in the national exams, showcasing their hard work and dedication. She reminded the students that they are not alone on this journey, as both the government of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahama community are committed to supporting their continued growth.
It is with immense pride and joy that I welcome and congratulate you, brilliant students, on your outstanding academic achievement. We all know that earning an A in the national mathematics and science examinations is no small feat. This accomplishment reflects your hard work, dedication, and the bright future ahead for each of you. We live in a world driven by innovation, and I cannot emphasize enough how important science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is to the development of Grand Bahama and the entire Bahamas. Your continued pursuit of these critical subjects can position you as the leaders and problem solvers of tomorrow. And your excellence shows the nation that Grand Bahama is home to thinkers, creators, and pioneers. I encourage you to keep believing in the power of your potential, for it is this potential that will shape a brighter future for us all. The government of the Bahamas is proud of you. The Grand Bahama community is proud of you, and I am proud of you. Once again, congratulations to you all.
Students from 8 Mile Rock High, Sister Mary Patricia Russell Junior High, St. George's High, and Jack Hayward Junior and Senior High Schools were represented at the pinning ceremony. For Your Government in Action, I'm Andrew Coakley.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, in partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank, held a contract signing ceremony for the retrofitting of a new national reference laboratory. The facility is expected to enhance services and support overall improvements in the country's healthcare system. The signing ceremony took place at the Ministry of Health and Wellness on May 5, 2025.
I'm pleased that you are here to join us at the Ministry of Health and Wellness for the official contract signing for the retrofitting of the new National Reference Lab. Today marks an important milestone in my ministry's ongoing efforts to strengthen the public healthcare system throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This project, carried out in partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank, will strengthen healthcare service delivery across the archipelago. The site of the new reference lab will be the former Mortgage Corp building on Russell Road, Oaksville, and will provide accessible services to patients in New Providence and the Family Island. Today, this nearly $2 million contract signing is between my ministry and Scorpio Construction Limited, followed a competitive bidding system by way of the IDB. We look forward to working together to complete this essential project in the near future. I spoke with the contractors. They understand the urgency to complete it in a timely fashion. And so we have awarded this contract and believe that it can be completed within the next 12 months. We look forward to watching it develop into an essential service, and we would be pleased to move from the old Victoria Hotel to this new site, where new additional services will be added from our reference lab. I want to thank Dr. Martin and her entire crew at the reference lab, who's been doing an excellent job despite the challenges they currently face and the space limitation. This is a project that we have been working on with the IDB for the last 3 years, and I want to thank the IDB and their technical team that assisted us to be where we are today. And lastly, our project execution unit, led by Dr. Donald Demerit, is definitely something we need to be very proud of. They're leading the way in many, many projects with the IDB, and this is just one. There's more to come, and we look forward to bringing you back in the very near future to speak specifically about some additional contract signings by way of the IDB loan facility.
The Ministry of Works, in collaboration with the Water and Sewage Corporation, held a press conference at the Ministry of Works on April 28, 2025, to announce the launch of the Joe Farrington Water Renewal and Replacement Project. The project is aimed at upgrading critical water infrastructure for residents in the area.
What we begin here today is part of the hard but necessary work of rebuilding, making sure the infrastructure that supports our daily lives is strong, reliable, and built to last. After careful planning, engagement, and preparation, I am pleased to formally announce that the Water and Sewage Corporation will soon commence the Joe Farrington Road Water Improvement Upgrade Project. We recognize that this project has been long anticipated by the residents and businesses of this community. You have called for more reliable service, improved water quality, and a stronger, more resilient water supply system. We affirm our commitment to delivering on those expectations. This upgrade will bring stronger and more consistent water pressure to homes and businesses, enhance water quality that continues to meet World Health Organization standards. Upgraded infrastructure will serve the area for decades to come. This project is more than pipes. It's about ensuring that every resident and every business in the community can enjoy the basic dignity and security that comes with reliable water service. The government has made it a priority to invest in critical infrastructure, not simply to repair what is broken, but to build stronger, smarter, and more sustainable systems that meet the needs of our people today and into the future. We acknowledge how long the residents of Joe Farrington Road, Seabreeze, and Elizabeth have waited for this. We know patience has not been easy, especially when essential services haven't kept pace with the needs of the growing community. You have lived with this inconvenience and, in some cases, real hardship that comes with the basic system that falls behind. We are not here to make excuses. We are here because it's time to fix, and it's time to fix it permanently.
This is a critical infrastructure initiative that will enhance both the water service reliability and the ride quality for thousands who use this key road every day. Joe Farrington Road, which connects Fox Hill Road to Bay Lily Drive, plays an essential role in the southern transportation network of southeast New Providence. Before we can repave this road, and I think that every social media we post, whether if we pave it in Exuma or Eleuthera or anywhere in Nassau, Joe Farrington Road is commented on every social media post that we put. So I can say the people who live off or who drive on Joe Farrington Road really has been advocating for this. And we're excited to be a part of a government that gets it done. So while the Ministry of Works is funding the overall project, the first phase would be the water main renewal, as we've already spoken about today. The Ministry and Water and Sewage continues to work closely together, headed by Minister Lundy and his team, to ensure this critical first step is completed before paving efforts begin.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings, where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.